For us there, and there is more. A judge in New York has ordered President Trump to pay $2 million for misusing money from his charitable foundation to support his 2016 election campaign. The judge ordered that the money be donated to 8 charities. This is in settlement of a lawsuit brought by the New York Attorney General. Let's speak now to Professor Sahar Aziz, the Chancellor's social justice scholar, Director of the Centre for Security, Race and Rights at Rutgers University Law School. Good to talk to you, Professor. What do you make of this? We should say, of course, the foundation was closed down last year. There were allegations that it was serving effectively as a kind of checkbook for the president's personal interests.
Well, it was shut down because of this lawsuit. It was part of the settlement deal. Was effectively the Trump family, Donald Trump and his children, were using this foundation to distribute money to charities in a way that would help his campaign. In other words, the money that they had was controlled by his campaign as opposed to independent board of directors or independent managers. So, for example, they held a fundraiser in 2016 where they raised $2.8 million, and then his campaign advisors and his campaign managers determined how to distribute those funds to charities, but in a very strategic way that would help get him votes just before the primary elections.
And his children now, we understand, will have to undergo mandatory training on the duties of trustees. Significant, too, that he has been required to admit to misusing funds, isn't it? Yet, on Twitter, he has said, and I'm just looking at the statement now, he's accusing the New York Attorney General of mischaracterizing this settlement for political purposes. What do you make of that?
This is typical Trump propaganda. He has become quite savvy at portraying himself as a victim when he engages in blatant breaches of the law, flagrant breaches of the law. I think this is just another example of his nepotism and his flagrant disregard of the law. He thinks he's above the law. So, for example, when he allows his campaign managers to manage the foundation funds and distribute funds in a way that is to his political advantage, that is not being a victim of a witch hunt. That is violating and exploiting nonprofit laws and tax exemptions. When he uses the foundation's funds to pay legal obligations that are connected to his businesses, that is a misappropriation of funds. Again, another illegal activity. And ultimately, he was required to pay $2 million in damages in addition to the $1.78 million that were currently in the foundation's funds, for a total of almost $4 million that he now has to pay to charities. And the settlement was very specific to say that the charities that receive these funds could have absolutely no connection to Trump or his family, because the Attorney General knew that he would just he could use the settlement to perpetuate his political ambitions further. So this tweet is simply just another example of Trump's alternative reality.
Thank you very much, Professor. We'll be hearing more on this just a little later. Sahar Aziz, thank you.
Thank you.